Mats Wilander away from the studio and onto his former hunting ground. He looks so at ease here on the practice courts at Orangi. Mats, let's talk about the incredible...
Nobody gets written off quite like Novak Djokovic, and nobody has made the people writing him off look quite as foolish, quite as often, for quite as long. Here we are in June 2026, and the same conversation is happening again. Is Djokovic finished? Is this finally the year? The body gives out, the motivation disappears, and the next generation just runs past him? It's a question people have been asking since 2017. And every single time, Djokovic has walked back onto a tennis court and made the question feel ridiculous. The difference this summer is that the stakes have never been higher, the window has never felt narrower, and the one tournament he needs most is about to begin. Wimbledon is 3 weeks away. And Novak Djokovic is coming for it with everything he has left. Let's go back to Paris for a moment, because you cannot understand what is driving Djokovic into this grass court season without understanding what happened at Roland Garros. He walked in having played just 3 tournaments in 2026 due to injury. He was rusty. He was carrying uncertainty about his own physical condition. And in the third round, he ran into a 20-year-old Brazilian named João Fonseca, who delivered one of the most stunning comebacks of the year. Djokovic led by 2 sets and still lost, 4-2, across nearly 5 hours. After the match, Djokovic admitted he had simply run out of fuel. 3 months away from the tour, then 5 hours of combat against one of the hottest young players on the circuit. His body couldn't sustain it. But here is what people are not paying enough attention to: the emotional moment after that loss. Standing courtside at Philippe Chatrier, Djokovic paused. He looked around the stadium. He grew visibly emotional. He said he never knows at this stage of his career how many more chances he is going to get. He said Wimbledon has been his favorite tournament since he was a child growing up in Serbia watching the greats on that famous grass. He said his motivation for London is at its absolute highest. That is not a press conference answer designed to make people feel good. That is a man staring at a closing window and refusing to stop reaching through it. 24 Grand Slam titles, 1 away from 25, 1 away from a number no human being has ever reached in the history of professional tennis. That is what this Wimbledon is about for Novak Djokovic. Now, Mats Wilander has been one of the most credible voices on Djokovic's chances heading into this tournament. Wilander is a 7-time Grand Slam champion himself. He knows what it takes to win at the highest level across different surfaces, and he knows what grass does to a player's chances better than almost anyone alive. What Wilander said this week cut straight to the heart of why Djokovic should not be dismissed. On clay, on the red dirt of Roland Garros, there are somewhere between 10 and 20 players who can realistically beat Novak Djokovic on a given day. The surface slows everything down. Physical endurance becomes the deciding factor. The margins close dramatically. A fresher, younger player can simply outlast him. On the grass of Wimbledon, Wilander puts that number at 5. 5 players in the entire world who have a genuine shot of beating Djokovic at the All England Club. That is a completely different tournament for a completely different version of Djokovic. On grass, the things that age cannot take away from him become the things that matter most. His footwork, his ability to read the ball off a low, skidding bounce that most players still haven't mastered even after years on tour. His tactical intelligence accumulated across 7 Wimbledon titles. His understanding of when to shorten a point, when to stretch a rally, and when to produce something extraordinary from an impossible position. Wilander was direct about it. When the grass is green, when the courts are at their quickest, Novak Djokovic's gap with Jannik narrows in a way that clay simply does not allow. The physical difference between a 39-year-old and a 24-year-old shrinks on a surface that rewards reading the game over running through it. And then there is the draw. Carlos Alcaraz, Sinner's most dangerous rival and the 2-time defending Wimbledon champion before last year, has officially withdrawn due to a wrist injury. That is enormous. Not just for Sinner, for everyone in the bottom half of that draw. The path to a Wimbledon final just became measurably less complicated for every remaining contender, and Djokovic is sharp enough to understand exactly what that means. Jannik Sinner is still the favorite. Wilander confirmed it, the bookmakers confirm it, and the results of the past 12 months confirm it. Sinner won Wimbledon last year, defeating Djokovic in the semifinals before going on to claim the title. He is world number one. He is younger, faster, and playing the most consistent tennis of anyone on tour when he is fully locked in. None of that has changed, but Wilander flagged something important. Sinner carried an enormous schedule into Roland Garros. The clay season was relentless, the recovery time was minimal, and Wilander believes the physical effects started to show. He was operating below his ceiling. The encouraging news, both for Sinner and for the integrity of Wimbledon, is that Wilander expects the rest period to reset him entirely. A recovered Sinner, Wilander says, is a different and more complete version of the player who dragged himself through Paris. Alexander Zverev deserves to be in this conversation, especially after finally breaking through for his first Grand Slam title at Roland Garros. That one matters psychologically, but grass has never been Zverev's best surface, and the fatigue from a long clay season followed immediately by a deep run in Paris is real. He has never made it past the Wimbledon quarterfinals. History doesn't automatically change because you won one tournament on a different surface. The group of younger players, Taylor Fritz with his serve and his grass court experience, Ben Shelton with his explosive athleticism, Jakub Mensik with the game style built for fast courts, these are names that could produce a run deep into the second week. Wimbledon produces upsets almost every year. The surface guarantees nothing. But in the middle of all of it, there is Novak Djokovic, 39 years old, emotionally raw from Paris, carrying the weight of one title he hasn't won yet, walking into his favorite tournament on earth with the lowest number of players capable of stopping him of any Grand Slam on the calendar. The people writing him off are not wrong to ask the questions. The body is finite. The clock is real. The window is narrow. But the one thing those people keep forgetting, the one thing the numbers and the analytics and the age charts cannot capture, is what Djokovic does when everyone decides the moment is too big for him. He has spent his entire career turning those moments into the ones people remember forever. Wimbledon is a